But a quick question. So you had Robert the doll, you have Annabelle, the two most famous dolls out there. 20 years ago, that's all you heard of besides Chucky. You know,
Oh, Peggy.
who the hell's Peggy?
Peggy the
Exactly.
doll's the one. The Peggy's the doll's the one that lives inside Zach Bagans' museum. Those three are the most media known.
Okay, so you have three dolls out there 20 years ago. Why the craze now? Did all these spirits say Annabelle's getting all the attention? Let me go attach myself to a doll, or is it because we created it?
No, it's a lot of it is we created, because again, entities and spirits are one thing, but we can also create energy to be housed. So a lot of the trauma stuff can go into, like we were talking about, residual wise, it can create a haunting. But what we can also create energy to a point where, and there's other beliefs on another side of all these studies and people trying to figure it out. But like when we step into the realm of like egregores, those are spiritual entities that are earthbound and formed through emotion. And so when we put so much belief into them or so much of a certain emotion into them, it gives them power. And so us, I will say, after meeting Annabelle, us watching the movies and people believing the movies aspect versus the real life aspect, that's still them putting belief into Annabelle. And that's energy that, she gains because people go in there with that predetermined decision
Right.
of what she is. And so it feeds her. And it feeds, and that goes for anything, an object, doll, any entity attached to a haunting. You feed them by giving them so much power over what they actually are.
I would
Stephanie?
agree on that. Um, so I don't watch scary movies. I don't know anything about Annabelle. I don't know anything about that Robert doll besides what my friends have told me when they've gone there. Um, I don't really, excuse my language, fuck with messed up little objects like that. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of haunted dolls, but I don't know why it's a craze now. The whole reason why I have them is because my cousin thought it would be cool to paint dolls and have them at our table and just have creepy dolls. And I told her it's a terrible idea. The dolls that she brought to my house don't want to make over. They don't want to be ugly. And I was like, they do seem like they have energy or whatever with them. And I just was picking up on regular spirits off of them. And I told her not to do it. She decided she was going to do it anyway. And she just had a lot of bad luck and a lot of weird stuff happened to her. And she decided she was like, she left all these dolls at my house. And I was like, dude, what do you want me to do? All these dolls? Da, da, da. She's like, I don't care what you do with them. So, I mean, I just I was bored and I just put some cat balls up around them and I was just playing with them and they were really active. And that's kind of where it went from there. And once people saw that I had haunted dolls, they just started giving them to me. Like this one guy, his wife died, and he's like, she had all these damn dolls, and I hated them. And he had like 4 or 5 boxes packed full of dolls. He gave them all to me. And I would say almost all of them to me felt like they had things with them. And Chu has a couple of them. I don't really think I have any more left from that batch, but it's kind of just like a never ending thing now. Like I just get them handed to me. And yeah, I do go to the thrift store sometimes and I do pick them up and my girls pick them up. And if we think that there's something with them, I mean, we get them. So we bring them home and we figure it out. And that's where we go from there. But I don't know what the craze is now. I totally understand what you're saying. Hopefully it is just a trend and it will pass, like the TikTok dances and stuff. Like hopefully it will just go away. But I mean, I don't know. I do think that sometimes our energy can go into those things like you said, and you can make haunted objects, but hopefully I answered all the questions or topic that you had over that question.
You
But
actually reminded me that I didn't answer that portion of his question, which was what's the craze of it. And I will add on to yours is I don't know how big the craze is or how long it'll last. I think it's a trend that will be trending no matter how big of the trend is. But I think a lot of it is, thrill seekers. A lot of people are seeking thrill because they watch all these movies, these TV shows, these, books, whatever the case, and it feeds into that horror aspect. And so people get that thrill and they want to recreate that real lifetime rather than. And I would say those are for the people that are serious about it. The people that are non-serious about it, I think that they're just looking for a money grab. But I think a lot of the craze about haunted dolls is a lot of what we consume entertainment-wise.
I think it's a look too. You know, like some people who are like, if you're a spooky girl, you have a spooky object or a doll or something, and it just makes their pictures look cooler. It gives them likes and views, but not from Ryan.
So yeah. So Chuy saved himself a little bit at the end there. So, but yes, I think it's all BS. Okay. Why do people do it? Because it's freaking cool. That's the only reason why. That's why majority of these people do it. I don't care, because you go on Facebook, you can't scroll more than halfway down your page. I need 5 more followers to hit 1,000. Who the F cares? Okay. Put some content out there and you'll get the followers. It's simple. Okay.
Be authentic. Stop using Haunted Haven's name. There you go.
There you go. It's haunted souls now. So we're going to go with it. No, I mean, it is the cool thing to do. Everybody follows everybody else.
I mean, I'll say, as a serious person, it is a cool thing to do. But it's a lot of fun. But, I am also very serious about it. I'm not trying to, like you said, put the content out. And it goes for anything you do in life is put the work in, you'll see the results.
Or it's just easier to ask for work, That's, I believe majority of people out there are just following a trend. And it's disrespectful to the dolls that are haunted. Personally. Not yours.
My doll just agreed with you. Did you see that? She touched the candle. She hasn't done this the whole time until we first started. And then when you started talking, she quit.
But it's disrespectful. So let's talk about haunted dolls a little bit too. Sorry, Stephanie, because this turned into a little educational program for myself here. But all right, so you got haunted dolls. A lot of people like bringing trigger objects into a location. I know, Stephanie, you bring the fair and all that. And there's a difference between using it as a trigger object and just actually bringing another spirit into a place.
Yeah. So Carmilla here, she kind of goes everywhere. I honestly gave her a break for a while because I could just tell she was just like tired of going places, like the same old places. Cause we do events, so we do reoccurring things. And I knew she was kind of getting burnt out from it. So I gave her a break, but she always goes to Farrar, usually. The people in the airport, TSA, probably think I'm insane when they see a doll head popping out the back of my backpack and stuff. But I think they're used to it now at this point. So, I mean, she goes everywhere. Her hair is all messed up. And that's just because the spirit inside of her likes to travel. She likes to go meet and do other, she goes to the school. And I'm telling you, the dolls love her in the doll room. Other spirits, when I'm not there, Anna will text me, the manager. She's on my pictures and videos. She will text me and be like, she'll screenshot me things or just like, oh, they're talking about Carmilla under Estes. And these are people who have never been to the school, never done Estes, and they don't know who the hell Carmilla is. But once they say her name, Anna knows exactly who they're talking about because she comes so frequently. But like I said, I don't put Lucy on camera. She doesn't like it. That's the 100-something-year-old doll. There are just several of them that don't, and I don't take all of them places because they don't need to go everywhere. I have my personal collection that stays just in my bedroom or in the glass case. And then I have all the ones that are for sale down in the basement where we normally do our TikTok lives and things. And I mean, it is just out of respect, and their majority of them are human. I hopefully don't have any non-human dolls, but, and if I do, they can just stay quiet the way they are right now. But I treat all spirits, any location that I go to, like a normal human being, which is probably why I get a lot of activity. Not trying to brag or anything, but I mean, we were just at ISS and we had 2 new people that were brand new into the paranormal. And I just started from the get-go of how I investigate, taught them everything that I do. And I said, you can take this and use it as your own. But if you do this and you get respect on their level, they will interact with you. Just don't ask them to go touch the red light. go over there, touch the purple light. Like, who the hell wants to do that? Nobody wants to talk to you when you're doing that stuff and demanding things in their home and you haven't even introduced yourself. So I put a little ball at the top of the steps because we knew we had children spirits around. And I said, if you knock that ball over, you can keep the ball. And I put all these cat balls out and I said, any ball you knock over, I'll leave the blue ball for you. Because it was a really cool blue ball and I use it all. Like, that's just something that it's like a trigger object. My light just flickered. I put the ball at the top of the steps, and me and another guest in Oakley, my daughter, we all went outside, and I left Anna and the two guests in the room with my other daughter, Penny, and we come back in just 3 minutes later, and they were freaking out. The ball went flying off the freaking steps at them because these ladies listened to everything that I had taught them, and they genuinely treated the spirits like, even I always tell people, even if you can't see them, just pretend you can. Even if you have no sensibility in your body, look in the corner and just act like they're in the corner, even if you don't, because they're grasping the concept that you are respectful, even if you can't see them.
No, my issue with people bringing certain dolls in, they do it for the wrong reason. Right? I mean, your doll interacts with other spirits, and you know it interacts. But for you to take another spirit into a location, I don't think it's right. Some people are like, well, I'm going to bring this doll in because it has a spirit attached.
Yeah.
Like, this is my house, and you're going to bring someone else in? No. Especially that spirit could stay. Like, cool. Like, found other ghosts I can talk to now or own, become superior over. Now you're creating a haunting that shouldn't have been there. You paid to go to these places to get the stories and the memories of the spirits there. So why you bring another spirit in? That's my issue with, and like you said, Stephanie, like you always bring that one and it interacts with the other ones. You bring it home. You've done it dozens of times. Cool. But there's people that would just bring this same thing every single location. I think it's wrong. I think it's disrespectful to the spirits you're going to go see.
I think so too. I have always asked, like, Carmilla, like, do you want to go here? One time we went to Malvern Manor, and that place is rough. It's scary as hell, even for me. And as soon as we walked into the location, I looked at her and I was like, do you want to be in here? And if you don't, let me know. And that freaking flashlight turned on immediately. She did not want to be in there, and I put her right back out in the car. But I do get what you're saying. Like, there are places that I don't take her. There are definitely places that I don't take her because I do think it's disrespectful. And there are some places that she shouldn't be because of her nationality. I don't think that she would belong in certain places, which you should obviously know about, your personal doll that you have, that you are showing respect for. Carmilla is like supposedly 20, 21 years old, and she's cool as hell. She's Hispanic, and she's feisty, and she doesn't give a shit, and she'll let you know. Some people say that they can see a teardrop coming out of her eyes sometime. Brent Fair is terrified of her when I bring her to Fairfield. But yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. There are definitely places that I don't take her, but there are places that I do always take her. And like I said, she lets me know if she needs a break. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. I do agree that there's history to places and that you should, like, I don't think I've ever taken her to a place that I haven't been first. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I take her after the fact that I've been there, or, get the vibe of the place. Like, I don't want no demon messing with her. So, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been in a circumstance, I'm not going to name drop or location drop, but I've been in a circumstance where I've met somebody else that was investigating the same place as us. And they were finishing up for us to do the next day. And, I've seen them do something disrespectful of taking an item in there as a trigger object. And it wasn't even a haunted object. I agree with the aspect of, and I can see your point of going into somewhere, taking another spirit into somebody else's home. Like, I get that aspect, and I do agree, but I also have a flip side on that as well. But I've met some, I've seen circumstances where people take things in to cause a trigger, and I'm like, cool, like, I get that you have a trigger, and that is a trigger, but that's not necessarily always going to be a good trigger. That might be a very disrespectful trigger. You know, for me, it's more of a let's use our common sense here kind of idea.
So I will say one thing. I guess it all revolves back to what your intentions are for investigating overall. Like all of us are on the same level. We're all on the same mutual level of respect going into locations, but some people are out to talk to negative things. Some people want to stir the pot. Some people want those reactions, and that's what they're there for. Especially, you know, at Farrar, we had people come in and immediately want to go to the boiler room and talk to the thing in the boiler room. And I'm sorry, you can run a private, because when I'm the tour guide, we're talking to none of that. And we only believe in love and light around here. So you can book a private, so I know when you come, and then we will cleanse the place after you leave. And yeah, I think it just goes down to what your intentions are for investigating overall.
And that's what I'm saying, you know, use your best judgment, because like, again, I've met people and we've exchanged contacts, and like we've been in contact. They asked us how it went at that same location. They were amazed by what we got compared to what they got. And I'm in my head, I never said it back to them, but in my head, I'm like, you probably didn't get anything because they felt disrespected because of how you wanted to trigger it. But going into like, would I take a haunted object into another place? I kind of agree with Steph. I would probably fill it out first before I decide to take anything into a location. I would want to go in there with my team, you know, do our thing without a haunted item. Maybe the next time, if I'm like, cool, this place works, we could bring a haunted. We don't have a single haunted item that likes investigating. If we did, that would be a topic I could talk about more, but we don't have that. But I would use my best judgment, you know, common sense of respect levels, and also the simple fact of, I do think it's okay, but like Steph said, it's the intention you're going in with.
Yeah, definitely. So everybody out there that, like Steph said, is your attention, like Chuy said, attention. If you want to go in a place and act like an asshole and be disrespectful to the spirits, that group's kind of lucky. They got nothing. So they could have got something much worse. You know, be careful what you wish for, okay? Because it does not just stay with you there. I've seen that attitude travel home with people. Maybe the spirits have not traveled with them, but something, I can't say that word, mind, you know, them pretty bad, where it was weeks till they got out of it. So,
and I was going to say, you know, most of the time you don't even know until something happens, and then it's like, oh shit, you know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't even like to use the D word, you know, because it just puts energy into those things that I have experienced. Like, it literally, I'm telling you, you come to the Farrar school, and Anna and I are working. We will tell you anything negative that comes up through Estes, Spirit Talk, or any device. We just ignore it. We say they're just being silly, and we just don't interact with that. And like I said, Anna will flat out tell you, and you will get a private if you want to do something like that, because none of us are going to be around it.
Yeah, I actually had that happen at the last investigation I did with Ghost Sister. Doing Estes, there's kind of a, I don't think it was a D word, just an ass, but I wasn't giving him the power.
Exactly.
It kept coming over, and I'm listening. I never even said it on camera because I don't want to give it the power. I will kill you. And I said it 3 times. I will kill you. And I'm just like, yeah, I ain't playing this shit, dude. Like,
and I usually just like, I even turn Estes off. I will literally cleanse the SB7, all the equipment. I do not play. I have been through things that I don't want to go through again because of other people's negligence. And I'm just not about it. It's not fun. I don't like it. I'm not putting my family through it. It's not happening.
I will say I'm glad to hear your guys' you know, aspects on it, because you guys sound very on the same page. I will say, we don't just go, my team and me don't just do experience, you know, we are in there also to study and research. So we do the flip side, you know. Granted, there are boundaries. There's things I will never do, because I'm like, again, it goes into that respect level, or just using common sense of, okay, that's too much. Like, I will never do anything ritualistic. Sure, I'll play a Ouija board or whatever, but I won't do like a summoning ritual or anything like that. Blood sacrifice. I don't do none of that. But we do push the boundary a little bit
Yeah.
to a good contention line because we are doing the research, because that is the goal of my team and mine and myself is, we want to understand and be able to explain and educate, and not just educate ourselves, but educate others who want to know more about it or don't understand it and should know more about it if they're going to be in there. And so we do push boundaries a little bit, my team and I, but we do have a boundary line as well of like, obviously if something says it 3 times, like you said in your experience, okay, it's time to like take a break. Let's step away. But like, and I tell my team this all the time, especially when we get new objects and when we go to new locations that we've never been, is sure, because we definitely push the boundaries a little bit because we want to understand and we want to see what's the extent, like not full extent, but a little extension of it. If you're gonna push on something like that, and you guys already heard me say the D word earlier because I throw it around loosely because I don't invoke that fear feeling towards it because of my experience and study into it. And that's just because, I think there's a lot of misconception on the word itself. But that's my own opinion on that. But I tell them, if you're gonna push on something like that or anything in general and push a boundary, just know however hard you push, they're gonna push back twice, if not more, as hard.
So everybody who joined the D word means dolls.
Oh, dolls.
So-
Okay, cool. I thought we were talking about the other D word, demonic. I was like,
We
wait, hold
are.
on.
We are. He's messing with you.
I'm just kidding.
No, I mean,
That was a
yeah,
good
I
one. You
mean,
got me.
in my mind, and I spoke softly after that, I did not quit that Estes. And I just said, hey, dude, you want to step up, step up. Like if you're a physical form, let's go. Now I will push boundaries to get answers. We had one guy coming out saying a whole bunch of stuff, and I will push him a little bit, but I'm just trying to get answers. I'm trying not to make him angry. I'm just trying
I
to
agree.
kind of just like do a little, okay, interrogation. Let's go, dude.
I guess it depends on the situation for me. Because like
Yeah.
sometimes I do push the things button in the boiler room. I'm his wife now. I mean, not the D word. We have a cranky guy down there. So now I'm his wife, and that when he comes up, I'm like, oh, this is my husband. So yeah, I do mess with him a little bit.
Some people have work husbands. Stephanie has work ghost husband.
Yeah,
Sweet.
no, we've pushed boundaries, and like we've gotten to the
You'll
points
have to
like
come and meet him.
we've pushed boundaries and got to the points like we've been in circumstances like at Hill House where we've received a scratch on camera, and the scratch was so deep that it welted, it drew blood, and it was just the craziest thing. And at that point, it was like we continued the investigation, and pushed. But I felt because I do also edit all of our content. I felt after watching the scratch, okay, cool, that's a good endpoint for viewers, because everything that happened after that was just even more escalated to the point where we were all like, okay, we're done.
All right. Now I am weird about when I edit. I mean, if you go through my Facebook, you barely see anything I've ever investigated. Honestly, I will listen to an hour and a half, get 5 EVPs out of a recording, delete it. That's my editing. I got it for me. It was a cool experience. Let's move on. I'm there for the spirits.
Yeah.
So
no, I get that.
That's why I don't have a YouTube. People, we record and they post it. I have my TikTok. It's fun. It's funny. That's just what we like to do. But I completely agree with you. I think that the best experiences happen off camera, and you're very lucky if you do get it on camera. Just like that ball flying off the freaking ledges for them. And the things that I've experienced, there's no proof. A lot of it, it's all just, telling a story. And I guess if you don't know the paranormal, then you're never going to believe. And even if you have been through the paranormal, sometimes the stories are so crazy that you don't even want to tell it because that person's not going to believe you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell a story. I don't have an issue with it, even if I had it. I mean, it's cool. Like I still video camera stuff, but again, I think and this is not anybody who puts evidence out there.
Right.
I like watching them, whatever. But it's a respect thing for me. I'm there for the spirits. I got my footage. It's gone. Now I'm a little different. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I'm on, I think, Instagram and Facebook. I have a podcast. So
I have a
that's
business, you know, I
you have a
do different,
business.
exactly.
And for us, our market is literally social media is our market for our
Right.
business because we are a business as well now. We just received our business license and everything from the state, so I'm so over the moon about that. But 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 yeah, to everyone, like it's a different, it's whatever you're in there for. You know, obviously we're
Right.
all in there to get the experience for ourselves and try to get answers for ourselves. But anything past that is different for every person. You know, just because I throw everything on YouTube doesn't mean you're going to, or Steph's going to, or you know what I mean. Like everybody's different in that aspect. So I don't think like, I feel like a lot of people watch and they think like the paranormal, you go looking for it, it's gonna happen. You gotta post it on YouTube. And in my head, I'm like, no, actually, and here's the insight for whatever viewers are out there listening, and I think all of us will agree on this. Just because you go looking for the paranormal doesn't mean they're gonna respond. The average paranormal investigation that's 8 hours long, it may look fancy on YouTube videos or on content videos, but reality is we have to cut a lot of stuff to get you that because majority of that time is waiting. It's literal patience, and you may or may not get anything. And that's the truth about it.
People think going on an investigation is like terrifying when 9 times out of 10, it's just you and your friends sitting in the dark cracking jokes about, my light just flickered, about whatever stories you're telling. I mean, we'll talk about our pets. We just talk about just normal things. That's what we do. And that's when we get the spirits to interact. I expect nothing when I go into locations.
Same.
Chuy, going back to you posting your stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
also you posting your stuff could help me on my investigation to get more answers because we always have more answers. We always come, or more questions. Sorry, we always come away with more questions than answers. So if I watch yours and go to the same location, I already have those answers and more questions from what I watched from you. So now I can go, I'm like step 2. I'm going in more, and
Yeah,
asking
it helps
different
us progress
questions.
together.
Right.
And then on top of it too, like I'm also a consumer, so I'll watch other people's videos for that
Right.
same reason. But a lot of it too is like, okay, I know what our tactics are. What are your tactics? Because let me try those. You know what I mean? So it elevates the investigator's experience and ability to go out there and try to get evidence because now we're working as a team and we're not separated. And that's the goal at the end of the day. Because if you're really an investigator and you're really into this, no matter your reason of why, the goal is to figure out the phenomena.
Right.
So and I see a lot of divides here and there. I know we're newer to the paranormal field, but I see, and I've been noticing, divides here and there between certain groups of people or whatever that are in the field. But at the end of the day, in my head, I'm like, okay, well, for us, we're all one community because we have to figure this out together. Because again, that word professional ghost hunter, or that term professional ghost hunter, comes into play. For me, there's no such thing as a professional because if there was, we would have figured this out already.
Right.
But because we're still seeking answers, that means sure, we do this full time. We're all about it, and we're professional in the sense of aspect, but we're not professional ghost hunters.
Right.
We're like the scientists trying to figure it out still.